What is up, entrepreneurs? As you can see, the beautiful Sony ZV-E10 is in the building. New iPhone 13 ships today. 13, was it like 13S? No, not 13S. 13 Mini, Pro Max, and whatever the other one is called. Are you getting one? Is the big question. Are you getting the iPhone 13? We'll be back right after these messages on that one. First of all, what are these dreads doing? But I am deliberating. Okay, jury's still out. I have my eye on a mini, but I haven't decided yet. Let me know. Are you getting an iPhone 13 mini? This stream is brought to you by moi here at DianaGladney.com. And if you're new here, welcome to the stream. If you've been around for a while, welcome back. And if you've been spotty, get your attendance together. All right, get your attendance together. I'm Diana Gladney, your hostess with the mostess, host of the Video Simplified podcast, host of the Diana Gladney YouTube channel, host of my Instagram account, host of everything else we do around these parts, and your educator over at masteringmicro.live. So if you are needing help with your podcast, ask a question. You need help with your video tech, ask a question. Needing help with your audio video stuff for your videos, ask a question. Needing help with your live stream stuff, ask a question. We also have some new Ecamm Live updates that are coming. So some Ecamm Live beta stuff. You've already seen some of that for the last 2 weeks with the ZV-E10 coming to USB-C natively through Ecamm Live. So you get all the way up to that goodness 4K 30 frames per second out here in these streets. So let's go over to the chat, say hello to the fam, saying, yo, what does it does? Cut that down a smidge. What is going on, Rapture Ready Productions? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Good evening to Anurag. Good to see you over in India. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Kombucha over in the chat. What is going on? Getting things done. Good to see you, brother. Saying happy iPhone day. Indeed, happy iPhone day. Guitar giveaway channel. Hi, Dana. How are you? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well as well. Saying, is or is you not getting an iPhone? I'm not gonna lie, man. They look so tempting. It looks super tempting. But I don't know, man. I want to, but it's like, for me personally, I want to ask myself, like, for what though? Because even as good as the current cameras are, this is my iPhone 11. As good as it is already, what am I doing with it? Absolutely nothing. Like, in the sense of maybe occasionally using it for some stuff around, like, so I used it yesterday, getting some test footage with the ZV-E10, testing the 10 to 18 on this against the A6600 and this against the ZV-1. So getting some test footage yesterday for upcoming videos and whatnot. But it's like, for what though? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It looks bee's knees Hall of Fame. You know, you had all the creators that got all of the different versions out there. I was watching Peter McKinnon's video. I'm not sure I finished it, and I'm still catching up on some of those videos, but I'm like, it looks dope. It looks amazing. I know I'm still never going to use it though. I will get zero use out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I actually truly would not use it because I have all of these. Like, I'm going for this 10 out of 10 times. And then maybe on the offshoot of my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, it would look good for like Instagram stories and all that, but it's like, I don't know. I just can't make it make sense. But I encourage you, if you like it, you love it, go for the go. What's going on, Camera Junkie? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying, will you be in LA? Oh, hold on. Yeah, will you be in LA for Vid Summit? Indeed, I shall not. I will be in 2 weeks though in New York at People of Video. So I'm not going to Vid Summit. It's just, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's too many people. I get it, like the being around, but no, because that would be, I just can't play that game. Like I just cannot play that game. That's into literally 2 weeks away from me having to go do a talk at People of Video. I just cannot afford no mishaps. I just can't. So I highly encourage you to go to peopleofvideo.com and you'll see over here with the incredible Roberto Blake on video, or in him staff is his name. You have the incredible Doc to the Rock. So a lot of the fam over here. We're going to be speaking at, People of Video and stuff like that. We got an eCam meetup. Also have some other not eCam meetups, but we also have some other stuff planned. So I'll be over here. So I don't have anything against Vid Summit. It's too many people. For me personally, right now, it's too many people. I can't rock like that. Personally, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to risk it. I just can't. I would love to. Different circumstances, maybe different season a little bit, but nah, not right now. Since I just got a new iPhone 2 months ago, we're going to have to wait on it. I understand, Kombucha. I understand, but the pressure is going to build. I'm telling you right now, the pressure is going to build. What is going on? Tawana Harris saying, hey, Miss Diana and squad. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Let's see here. Tammy saying, hi, Diana. Hi, everyone. Hello, Tammy Lyle Clark. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. And always dropping the love. Bless up, DG. iPhone 13 has to be a serious upgrade for my 12 Pro Max. Salute to the Glad Gang, brother. We appreciate you always coming in, dropping some love every single week. I appreciate you sincerely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like I have to have a real business need for me to get it, or even like a serious desire and a want for me to get it, and it's just not there. It's a want because it'd be fun to play with it, test it out, do some different things or whatever, but that's an expensive toy for me at this point, because I'm also looking at the Sony A7 IV when that drops, and that'll be a full frame camera, and I'm like, okay, possibly what is that going to include, and where is the route with that, and just other stuff that may be coming out. I can't do it. Like I just can't make it make sense. I get it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna look dope. The videos look amazing, and they have done some bee's knees Hall of Fame stuff with the video quality. Like, when have you seen a tutorial with the phone on this channel? Like, I feel bad about that, but it's just not my vibe. It's just not. Because here's the thing. Here's where this comes in with me. The camera can be dope sauce, bee's knees Hall of Fame, right? But when I'm driving and I'm using GPS, all of that goes away. Or I'd have to hook it up in such a way that I can see the GPS and still maybe use video features and stuff like that. Obviously, that's a bigger drain on the battery. Even though the battery life has been significantly improved, I'm all for it. But now it's like, so let's say I go do, or I am going to do this talk at People Video. I'm going to be recording my talk. Okay, if I'm recording my talk, that's at least 45 minutes Q&A with standing or whatever, in addition to vlogging that trip. And it's like, well, just, use a camera in that instance. Yeah, but for that conversation of just use your phone, for me personally, for as much video content as I make, the just use my phone conversation doesn't apply. It just doesn't. Because it's more of a hindrance at that point for me to use my phone than to let my phone be a phone that can do great video versus my phone is my video tool. So I'm going to be rocking with my normal go-to stuff. Taking a ZV-10. Might bring the A6600, ZV-1 or whatever. Might bring the whole squad. Who knows? But it just makes sense to have a dedicated tool. Or some of you that are doing consulting work and different business. So I had the pleasure of being on TubeBuddy's revenue stream show. So that'll be coming out very soon. Okay, well, during that time, I hooked up the ZVE10, set it to record, and so I'm capturing B-roll. For those of you that know the Being a Creator series on the channel, shows the behind the scenes of what it's like to, and documenting the experience of being a content creating entrepreneur, and how you can start to leverage that in your business. That show is sponsored by Ecamm Live. Okay, well, I can't do that and maybe use my phone. So it's like it's a line drawn at some point. So even though they are fantastic bees in these Hall of Fame, I'm not going to use it. Just not. I'm not. The Osmo Mobile 5, fantastic. Dopesauce.com. Not going to use it. Know that I'm not. Love everything about it. Not going to use it. I know that I'm not. Probably get one and probably do some stuff, but I would like to add in phone video elements to kind of show what is possible. Or, you know, let's say you're not that deep in the weeds with creating video content yet. I would be curious to see maybe how well that's received across the channel. So let me know if you want to see some phone videos. If that's the case, we might swing it. We might, see what we can do. But until then, let me know in the chat. Matter of fact, I'm going to go do a poll. We're going to settle this right now. Should we, because if I do get one, I'm getting the mini, because y'all with these big old, the phone is this big. Like, y'all get ones that's this big and be like, hello. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Yeah, it's iPhone 13 Pro Max to the extreme.com. That's what I got. That's what, yeah. Hella big tablets, books up against y'all faced. I cannot. But let me go through. I'm going to throw one in the chat. Let's go here so that you all know what I'm doing. Over here in the chat, you can have live chat, top chat, so make sure you don't miss anything. But I can create a poll. Let's go here. Let's see, we do iPhone 13. Let's see, videos on the channel. This is your time to shine. Live stream chat, bazoom. Let's see what y'all think. Should we do that? Should that be something that's introduced as content on the channel? I'm a Google Pixel ambassador, if you will. I love the Google Pixel phones. I think they're freaking amazing. On Instagram, you guys have seen me talk about that and stuff like that. Not gonna go through the stress of making a video around it. It's like for me personally, it just stresses me the hell out, because there are so many things of I could just press a button on the camera instead of having to deep dive in the phone kind of a deal, or I don't have to pretend or go through hoops to make it have a blurry background. I know what lens to put on there kind of a deal. So I'm very impressed with what phones can do. I just don't think it's my ministry in life, but I am open to doing videos on the channel. Let's see what y'all vote. Getting things done. Saying I respect that. Shout out to Getting Things Done recently got engaged. So congrats to you and your soon to be beautiful wife. Saw that online, saying respect. And I respect that, Diana. It's very responsible of you. I'm not responsible. Let's just be honest. Like I can't even hold up. This is not about responsibility. It's just not a big enough personal want. That's the only thing. It's just not a big enough personal want. I have to, now what could be the thing that sells me on it, processing speed. That is extremely important. I'm super big on efficiencies. And so it's not just like where stuff is at now or like good enough for right now, but if the efficiencies are there with future applications and stuff like that, which I believe it would be, but it like significantly impacts my workflow, stuff that I can do on my phone, or if because of the new, systems and stuff like that baked into the phone, it makes things better, then that's an easy sell, because I'm always for efficiency. If something doesn't make life more efficient for me, then it's like, no, I'd have to want it just for wanting it or something like that. So I'm down with the iPhone 13, but Chad in the house. Good to see you, Chad B. Glad that you are here. Questions, and just curious, What is on your wish list, or what have you had your eyes on that you'd like to add to your gear list? The Sony A7S III, and that it's a Sony 12 to 35 millimeter lens, and the Sony A1 because it has Ethernet, and it's just that simple. Those are the most extreme, quote unquote, ridiculous cameras that I would want. And for me, I would have to say definitely like getting an office. Like when I think of like gear, I think of like the whole thing. It's like a whole shebang. So for me, it would be buying like a warehouse or something and completely building out a tech studio where my office is still about the same size, like for me, but I can separate like the where I work and the where I create, and have different studios for different stuff. Like for me, I envision personally having cameras to that extreme, because it's like, so the vlog therapist, the characterization that you all see and love, like on the Instagram reels, for me, I want to flesh that character out, like keep doing those skits, obviously, but for real, go like next level with that kind of stuff, and next level with micro content. So we'd have literally a micro content studio. If anybody else says that after me, they stole it. Like, I'm not even joking. I would have a micro content studio because it's that important to me. So all our cameras will be permanently in vertical in that space. All of the designs and stuff would be permanently set up in like a vertical, like it's built for vertical. Like, cause I think that medium and that shape, you know what I'm saying, that format size is literally like the way of the future, because we're talking, like we talked a good portion about the iPhone 13. And you see how it rack focus, like it goes, or the blurry background stuff, like it's all the stuff that people want in a something like this without having to get a something like this. So for the average creator, it's great for them, you know, iPhone 13. Okay, well, I want to be able to explore all that different stuff. So for me, my gear is wrapped around like my visions for the future things that I want to do. That's not just around the stuff that I want personally. And then also on my wish list is literally every Sony camera that they create, period. All the old ones, all the new ones. So when it comes to comparisons and stuff like that or whatever, it's not like talking about it, but like I can go grab it and use it. So I'd literally have a shelf of all of those. I'd even go so far as to do that with some of the Canons. I wouldn't get all of them because it literally is too repetitive for some. But I would want, like for all the different brands, I'd literally want a shelf with like a bunch of all the cameras. That way it's like infinite comparison type stuff, or like I could always do at any time, like go grab or whatever, just for like it's at that point it becomes a resource. That's like my vision. Like the stuff I want to do in my company is like so next level to the current things that I'm doing, but I definitely can see myself on that trajectory already, just with the stuff that's coming in now. So like the stuff that I want to buy is around that, computers and screens and all that different stuff. I don't want to like keep building home studio stuff. Like my next goal, like I'm staying focused on the things that I'm doing right now, because I'm presently investing in my future of the stuff that I just explained to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. It's like, well, why don't you do? And it's just like, why the hell am I going to build this the hell out and I plan to leave at some point? You know what I'm saying? Like I still want an at home studio, but ultimately I want to have like a warehouse, something that I build all the different visions and stuff that I have, the sets in mind. And like I literally want though too. So I can also envision working with somebody like a Kev on Stage and his Kev on Stage Studios, because so much of what he does makes so much sense to the stuff of what we do. And there's no bridge between the two mediums. It's so separate, and I don't think it should be. So I can absolutely see the stuff that he does. It's one of the guys in the community does improv content. That's stuff that I think entrepreneurs would benefit from learning how to do, because everybody sucks on camera when you first come on camera because you're so used to suit and tie. Let me just straighten up. And they can't express themselves properly. one improv class, get your brain running, top of mind kind of stuff, and having a space to like come do that and all of that. So the hell with, in a sense, like some of the what YouTube studios used to do, and like it is the DG Enterprise. You know what I'm saying? So that's like gear stuff that I want is next level for stuff like that. What is going on, Dr. ELO in the building? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying you just got to have a car with Apple CarPlay. So yes, that's true. That man, see, listen, that's what I experienced going out of town. I'm like, I'm not living my best life with my current car. Like, it's not. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, is it more beneficial to buy a new car, or is it more beneficial just to like replace that console and just be done with it? Because I'm like, I'm in that paid off car life, and I am not trying to get back in a car, no stuff. Like, again, I'm investing in my current self for my future endeavors. And a new car just to flex for no reason on Instagram, it's not finna catch me up. I just refuse. I'd look forward to it, but it ain't finna catch me up. I'm not getting in debt. It's a wrap. So good morning, Tony. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. And as Kim Bucha said, don't forget, hit that like button. You know you want to. And I agree, my iPhone is constantly being used for so many other features that I always go to my camera, Sony, hashtag Sony Squad, for photos and video. I'm with you, man. Should agree with all your points. And I've been holding on to XS Max for 3 years now. The most compelling feature is the longer battery life. Yep, the battery life is important. And I think it's not even like, I think me and my parents were talking about this, where you didn't have to charge your phone. Like you couldn't even remember where your charger was, because you never used to have to charge your phone back in the day. Nokia brick phone back in the day. Okay, hashtag Nokia crew. Y'all know what it was about. But like, you forget to charge, or like every 3 to 4 days you're charging your phone. Now we do so much stuff with our phones. Like, we have to have competent battery life, because literally to be doing something on your phone and then get off the airplane and you have nothing left is just unacceptable. So it's like we are in a fight for like an energy crisis and battery storage and efficiency crisis. So I'm all with it. I'm all with it. It is good. It is so good. Saying not the box with it. That is how big the phones are. I'm not doing that. It's like I can't even text. My thumb won't reach. Imagine it, y'all trying to text, like, why you never text me back? I was still typing. Like, not doing it. Nope. AirPods for the win. I do like the AirPods, but I'm a wired kind of, I'm just old school in some respects. Like, I get it, but I just don't want nothing else to charge. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, no, I'm not charging nothing else. Like, enough. Hey, God bless you, or God bless you, something, but I would say God bless you. Let's get the likes, always bringing good info. Appreciate that. What is going on, Mary Lou? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. What's up, Miss Finance? Good to see you. Saying keep up the good work, sister. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Saying the level of warehouse I could afford would be in a part of town where I wouldn't want to have expensive tech stuff. That is another like thing though too. It's like real estate and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I'm believing things will work out. Like, I just am optimistic about everything, because what's the alternative? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the alternative? So it's like life sucks without a good perspective. So I'd rather hold on to a good perspective. So I assume that, yeah, I'll be able to find a warehouse, but I won't have to like walk out and, you know, somebody's like, you know, doing one of these, like, hey man, you gotta, let me get a, you know, and all of that's like, no. So we're believing for safety out here in these streets. Freaking police patrol. Okay. I don't know how you want to put it, but just safety. Okay. Out here in the streets. Yeah, either you're going to get saved one way or the other. Either way, I'm still going to be packing. That's all I'm saying. Another super chat from Book of Alpha Rhyming. As an AC shooter, A7S3 has me on the fence just for the 422 10-bit dynamic range and ISO flexibility. Well, let's take a look over on the B to the H photo video. And the Sony A7C, for those of you that don't know, is a full frame camera. Kind of puts you in the mindset of an A6600, but it is a full frame camera. It still has the older Sony Mini systems, and it has that goodness, that what you want, right? Chow. Flip out screen. So let's take a look, see over here, because 422 10-bit, also for those of you that don't know or why people care and why that matters, it's like I explained last week. Imagine you have to color a picture with 4 crayons versus 40 crayons. That's kind of like a difference in color space between 8-bit, 10-bit, more color depth, which means you have a lot more going on with your stuff. So if we go over to the specs down here, I'm gonna scroll till we get to the video stuff. So let's see here, video modes, all this now where I'm already familiar with it. I'm looking for a specific something because sometimes I know with the A6600, you can get 422 10-bit externally. So you may have access, because I can't imagine the A7C not having it. But let's see here. Yeah, let's see here. So internal recording 4K is possible. 30 frame 4.2. Yeah, okay. Full HD. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. 420 8-bit sampling. The high speed of 120 frames per second, 4x, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so with external, so the option of external recorder for a clean 4K recording with 422 8-bit sampling. So externally on an HDMI output, you're only getting a 422 8-bit, unfortunately. So, I mean, my whole thing with that is experiment with the kind of stuff that you record and shoot, and then see if, like, when I say experiment, go rent the A7S III. Like, you can use Lens Rentals. Was it Diana.link/Lens Rentals? Will get you, should be, if it's your first time with them, like $25 for a credit or something like that. So if you go to something like Lens Rentals and you rent the A7S III, have something to shoot that's going to push that 10-bit and use it, and see with what you regularly shoot when you have access to that 422 10-bit color sampling, and then compare the footage side by side, because only looking at online videos is only going to help you so much, because it's like, it's cool to see somebody making comparisons and saying all this, that, and whatever. But if you actually never are in that situation and you actually never use it, what's the point? Like, it's like some people's like, oh, if you shoot in a sunset, and it's like, if I shoot a sunset, I'm someplace on a vacation. I promise you the sampling of the video is not my concern at that point. It's sinking the toes in the sand and relaxing and chilling out. Like, that is the primary focus at that point. But if that's your job and you're like a wedding filmographer or something like that, then it is important. But it's like, at that point, it may be a time lapse in one of my videos. It's a blip of a second of an experience, of an overall experience. It's not that I don't care that we don't get the full scope of it. It's fine. Because if I see a sunset or a rainbow on somebody's phone, I think it's just beautiful and I move on with my day. It doesn't like impact the way I live my life. Like, it's not that serious. So with the work that you may be doing with your video stuff, I would actually truly compare that in like a real situation and scenario for you, and see if it truly impacts the way you're able to color grade. Because sometimes what you'll find, which is why I never had a problem upgrading cameras and stuff, is that what you'll find is that you can get better experience sometimes when you have better efficiencies. When I tested cameras that actually had log versus playing around with certain settings and contrast and saturation and stuff like that in Canon cameras that didn't, or playing with the neutral and trying to make it look like something that it never would be, the difference between log and like a standard picture profile kind of a deal, miles apart. The colors move more easily, like you can manipulate them so much more. So now we go another level to 10-bit colorization. If you find that it's just like, that helps my workflow, it helps me create more, like, it's go for the gold. Like, it should be no, at that point, it's a done deal. Like, you should switch instantly. Like, I don't even care what it costs, because the efficiencies earn you back the money and your time. That's my view on how, like, I work and stuff like that. Chris Polk in the building saying, have you had a chance to try different battery banks and power supply options with the ZVE10? I'm wondering what the USB spec and performance is with power delivery, IQ, and different types. So I had a feeling somebody was going to ask me a question for something that I put off to the side. And I'm like, ain't nobody gonna ask me no questions, and I'm gonna have to get up and go get some stuff today. Ain't gotta worry about it. Apparently, this question breaks that rule. But no, I'll tell you this. What I found is that, and that's something I can sincerely tell you, I do not plan to do an exhaustive test of a bunch of third-party battery options because they suck. Like, and I don't mean that like as some elitist or like, oh, you just like everything. No. In your real use case, it is not worth your money, your time, and the hell you go through playing with third-party battery. It is just not. At best, Wasabi batteries. At best, I'll probably get some of those just because Wasabi as a whole is a legit good company. Like, they are a legit good company. So I'll test those. But I have the newer ones, NEEWER newer ones that came in. And I did recently do the battery test. Let me pull up those results for those notes. And just real quick, because I still had this in here from previously. These were my battery test results so far on a Sony battery, just so we all are on the same page. Now, you take this into comparison, right? Take this into comparison. This sucks when you switch over to a third-party option. Now, when I tested the newer batteries that came with the battery bank thing that I wanted, because I'm like, okay, well, at that point, the batteries are free. I just wanted the charger. Okay, so let me pull this back up. Let's do this here. So at 25 minutes, you can see that the ZVE10 was at 85%. On, like, when I was testing the newer batteries at 27 minutes, I was at 77%. So whereas on the Sony battery, I was at 85%. At 27 minutes, around that same mark, on the newer batteries, I was at 77%. When we jump to right at 30 minutes in the newer batteries, it's at 74%. Now we move over to the 1 hour that you see here on the grid. That gray bar, 54% on a Sony battery, that was at 44% on the newer battery. So the loss that you take playing with third-party options suck. Like, it's just not worth it. It's so much of like the having that little bit of a charge for a little while. It's just not worth it. Now, as far as the power bank situation and running the camera off of power, 2 tests that I've done so far that have been great. Which is part of one of the Ecamm Live updates that came out in beta. So if you're one of the beta testers for Ecamm Live, and if you were on the stream or you saw the stream from 2 weeks ago, then you saw us using the A6400 and the ZVE10. I did 11 hours before I saw the battery symbol in Ecamm. So it streamed for, I don't know, like 4 to 6 hours. And then I just kept it connected and up as if it was streaming for 11 hours. And the battery symbol at that point was showing that it was empty, but the camera was still not cutting off because it was still connected to a power source. And this is going into my CalDigit T3. So I don't know what you're doing, but if you got 11 hours, USB-C works fine with Ecamm and the Sony ZVE10 if you want to use it, and you still have access to change stuff in the menus as well as 4K that you want to use. Now, as far as like a battery bank, you do want to be careful not to overpower your battery, or not your battery, but your camera. It's a great way to short your camera out, trying to think like I'm gonna throw more at it and it'll be better. I do have a battery bank that I do use that I think does have like that IQ thing. I'll have to pull that up on Amazon real quick. It's been performing phenomenally with that. And obviously it's a battery bank, so until that battery bank is exhausted, then you run into a problem. So what I would suggest, find you a good battery bank, or I'll throw the one that I use with my ZVE10 and my other cameras in the chat in a minute. But I would highly recommend, where is it? Oh, here it is. It's 10,000 milliamps, but it's like super duper small. So this is the one I got. By Charmast. It's a super small 10,000 milliamp hour USB-C power direct one. And it has, what I really liked about it was that it has the micro and the USB-C at the top. So let's see. You could probably see it here. So you see like the one at the top was a USB micro, and then the one underneath USB-C, and then you have the two like whatever ones for the power director, whatever, super fast. So I like this one so much. I have tried so many different ones. This one is the best one in my opinion that I've found, and this is what I'm recommending from use. Other ones, it's like they'll be okay, but it's like I don't know, it's just not, they're super heavy, so it's frustrating to carry around. They have less capacity and stuff. So like I said, this one, it's super small and it works so good, and it's not like hella heavy for the 10,000 milliamp hours and stuff. So that's the one I'll recommend. I'll drop a link to that in the chat. If you want to go, if you want to, that was not even English. If you guys want access to that. So I'll drop that over right now. If you guys have questions about anything, feel free to drop those down below. Also, real quick while I'm doing that, Ecamm Live added something incredible recently, and that is Twitter. So Twitter destinations for live streaming. So if you are in that Twitter Periscope-esque kind of a stuff and you want to stream using Ecamm, you can. So new beta updates again came. That one was cool. Twitch is also there if you are into Twitch and stuff like that. And so as you can see, that's on the screen is what I actually recommend when I'm saying to like go here and schedule your streams inside of Ecamm. This is what I'm talking about. So you go over to in the bottom right, you can record or do like, so most of the videos that you see and it looks like this kind of framing, we're using Ecamm Live. And so Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, Restream.io, and then Switchboard Live are available. Or if you want to do a custom, RTMP kind of a deal, then you can add that in and do to whatever kind of stuff that you got set up. So that's my thing. For that, hopefully y'all get a chance to try that out. And more cameras. Yes, exactly how you spell it. Saying speaking your vision and it will come to pass. I believe that. Gosh darn it so much. I believe it. I believe it. Current self for future endeavors. 100% happy to join. Second live in a row. Love being here. Well, Betty, we are glad that you are here. Also, Sony Gang, Sony Squad in the building. Good to see you. Terry, glad that you are here. Saying we also had the ability to change our own batteries, so we had a spare in the Nokia. You know what? That's the other thing. Shout out to the smart. No, they weren't smart. Because at best we had Snake on the phone. Shout out to the old school phones holding us over. Okay. What is going on? Miss Eileen saying, hello, beautiful people. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Saying team flip up. A66 versus the A. Was it set A? No, it's not even A. ZVE10. So yeah. So let's go over. I'm curious. We did a poll earlier. Ooh, should we do iPhone 13 videos? Y'all said no. 32 votes for no, 53%. 47% said yes. So that is interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not mad at it because I love the camera stuff more. We may still try one or the other. We'll see. But overall, answer is no. I don't blame y'all because I'm out here trying to live my best life. Just with the camera. That's it. I got so much more to learn. So many more things to do. Saying hi, Diane. I'm enjoying the latest podcast episode. Almost finished listening. Why, thank you so much, Miss Eileen. I'm so glad that you are enjoying the Video Simplified podcast. Those of you that don't know that we have a podcast, we do. You go to videosimplifiedpodcast.com. It'll take you over to the website. You can listen to all of the latest episodes in order, I might add. I just feature one of them up here. 3 keys to remaining consistent on YouTube. One that's an episode that I really enjoy. Think that'll bring a lot of value to you. So I highlight that one up here. You can subscribe to the podcast, listen wherever it is that you enjoy podcasts. But episode 71 talked about selling your products with your video content without being sleazy. So that one's a good one to listen to. And then if you're into this tech whole thing as well, episode 70 last week talked about my 5 favorite small accessories to simplify video creation. So, and then one of the things that I love that we recently introduced on the podcast was Gear Fix. I love the Gear Fix interludes because they're just fun. it's fun. It teaches you something else that I may be using or experimenting with that's working well, or something that I do recommend. So every episode includes a gear fix. So I love it, love it, love it. Saying yes, efficiencies earn that money back every single time. Could not agree more, Mary Lou. Could not agree more. What is going on, Prairie Life? Saying hi, Dan. I like the option to do a poll when we join the chat. That's cool. Yes, if you are not playing around with that, that is something that YouTube introduced, and I rather enjoy it. So I think that this is amazing. So again, we could do another poll. Here, actually gotta end that poll, and then you can start another one. If we could start another one, do we need to refresh, or can you only do one? So this is a good test, because I haven't tested multiple ones. It's usually just like only one. So let's pause for the calls when this comes available. And if you haven't smashed that like button already, make sure that you do so. That is something that YouTube introduced. And okay, I hit it twice. Okay, so we definitely need to refresh there to get a second one. So we can do a second one saying, do you use ... Android? Or I'm not even going to put any shade on any one specific, and then ask your community. So do you use an iPhone, or do you have an Android based phone? So that's another one we're going to throw in there. See what y'all using overall. Because sometimes people get offended, like, oh yeah, I want to talk about this iPhone. I am a lover of all things. Personally, iPhone works best for me. I switched 2 years ago, I think it is now, or something. It was dope. It's the best thing. It was the best thing since sliced bread. So I meant external power banks connected to USB-C. Thanks, those Sony batteries are the only way to go. So we covered that as well. Power banks and stuff like that. You got to be careful though. Like I said, some of that stuff you can very much so easily think like, well, this is cool, or it has this. No, what works for a phone will not always work for a camera in this power delivery area. So be very careful about that. I'm sure there's instructions about what Sony says in it, and I did read the manual initially before, like, or when the ZV-E10 dropped out. So you just have to be careful. I don't remember what the clause said about it, but it's certain stuff that, like, you just be careful what a phone can do, and the way that we're able to max in that stuff. Just be careful when you're using battery banks. You may need to use one port versus another depending on what you own. So read the manual. That's what I would say to that. What is going on, James Hicks? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. All right, sorry I'm late. Saying what's the topic today with the podcast? No, we were just covering that very quickly since Miss Eileen said she was listening, so you can check that out. So I don't know, do y'all have a podcast? Do you not? Is that your thing? Do you listen to them? That's a curiosity. I listen to I don't listen to as many podcasts as I used to. When I used to work at 9 to 5, I used to have them lined up, like on schedule, like I expected them to drop on their days and stuff. And when they didn't, I'd be mad. So, but I get it now. But, I would still be like, man, I wonder if they're going to get an episode this week, or blah, 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 stuff like that. So I don't listen to as many, but I still listen to podcasts, and I think they're dope sauce. Alrighty. Saying on the late freight, after much research, I learned that I need a TRS adapter to use my Boya M1 lav mic with your ZV-E10. Well, Angela, glad that you're here. Good to see you. So here's the thing. There's a video on the channel talking about what you need for your phone. As far as what you need for your phone, what you need for your camera, and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna pull this up real quick, and try to mute this video. Actually, there we go. So this video I did back in December of last year walks you through, depending on what you're trying to use, do you need TRS or TRRS? Basically what cable that you need for your camera or for your phone when you're trying to do video content and stuff. Audio is very easy, and when it breaks down at the end of the day, you're looking at, if you're using a phone kind of a deal, you need what's called TRRS, tip ring sleeve. That's what you need if you're connecting to your phone. Now the Boya BY-M1, I have that in the drawer somewhere, passed away. I just stopped using it. TRS is what you need when you're using a camera or an audio device, like something like a Rodecaster Pro. You need something called the TRS, tip ring sleeve, and that's on here as well. And this video is very short, and it breaks it down right here. And so TRS, this is what you need when you're talking about using, like I said, your any audio recorders, audio devices, stuff like that, and cameras. They need TRS, tip ring sleep. Now there are companies like Rode, like Deity, that are introducing microphones that may have a TRRS tip, but it's smart enough to recognize what it's being plugged into, maybe without you having a switch and stuff like that. Also, USB-C is being introduced on said microphones by companies, but at that point, that's that specific microphone and that specific company's capability with what they're doing. It's not a general rule. So if you're doing audio for your videos, that is something to always remember. So when you buy, let's say a lapel microphone, let's go over to Amazon. What's one that I recently talked about? So the Rode Smart Lav Plus. Let's take a look-see around, y'all. So I recently bought this one because I like how small it is and how short the cables are and how small the capsule is, because everything else is too big, too wide, and it looks like some gosh darn, I don't know, it just looks like this sitting on your throat. It's like, I hate the way all the other ones look. So this one's super small. It floats my boat. But you see on the end, it's TRRS. This specific microphone is made for smartphones specifically. So even if you're an iPhone user or you're an Android user and your phone does not have a 3.5 millimeter headphone port on there or microphone port, you need to use your adapter. You still can take the adapter to the phone as is. You need nothing in between. Now they came out with one called the Rode Go Lapel or something like that. That one is same microphone, but specifically made, this one, but specifically made for cameras and audio devices, because when you plug that into your Rode Wireless Go's, your Comica Boom XDs, your Rodecaster Pros, if you were going to do something, you need a TRS connection to do that. If not, you're screwed. You won't hear anything, or you're trying to figure out the what's and the whys and whatever. You put anything else in between any of that stuff, you need to figure out what that device needs in order for it to perform or transfer audio. And there was also another video that I use about how to use your podcast like microphone with your cameras and stuff directly. That video can be confusing if you're new to all of this stuff. If you've been in video content creation for a little while, you'll get it. But what happens is you take a microphone like Samson Q2U is what I use in that video, has a headphone port. Okay, well, I'm thinking headphones sends audio. So technically with a TRRS cable to TRS cable, I can transfer audio, receive it from the headphone port, and have it send into the camera, which is what that video shows you how to do, or what specific connections you need depending on what you're trying to connect, so that when you are using your similar style microphone or whatever, you can I used to sit and use that microphone all the time like that to get that microphone sound quality directly into my camera, pre-Rodecaster Pro. Now I don't need to, because I'm using XLR and all that other stuff or whatever. We've changed things up audio wise, but that's the thing. So everything that you buy should be based on a system, not piecemealing stuff together. Otherwise you'll get confused, frustrated, and like none of this stuff works. And that's not true. So when you buy audio equipment, buy a system. Don't piece buy stuff. Somebody recommended this and you bought it. Somebody recommended that and you bought it. And then this person recommended both of these things that was different than the other two people. And so you bought that. And now you got all this junk that don't work. And now you mad because you like everybody's lying on YouTube. And so, and you're like, I want my money back. But invest in a system. So when you buy a microphone to begin with, what is the original intent for it? When you buy a camera to begin with, what's the original intent? What do you plan to do with it? How do you plan to create? Based on how you plan to create should impact what you buy. And then when you purchase things, invest in a system, an audio system, a lighting system, a video system that's compatible with the other two. That's the most, and that's where people get it wrong when they're getting invested into gear and stuff for YouTube. They just buy things instead of investing in a system. It makes a huge difference. Alrighty, so let's go back to the chat. Saying thank you for showing us how to set up a poll. Best info here, folks. Well, I thank you so much. Shout out to you, Prairie Life. I appreciate you saying, I'm here. Good day, Truth Seeker. Well, good to see you. Glad that you are here. Thanks for Kombucha sharing out that link. Saying thank you. I will watch the video. You are most welcome. Saying I would like to learn Ecamm Live. Which one of your videos would you recommend to start with as a beginner? Well, here's the thing. You can just go to the YouTube channel, and like my channel specifically, and you can click on Ecamm Live. There's videos that'll walk you through. So what I mean by that is when you come over here on desktop, obviously, so you may be watching this on your phone. Again, desktop will have the search bar. Ecamm Live, hit enter. The tutorials that I'm doing as far as whether to get pro or standard, how to use and set up Ecamm Live, the tutorial, all the settings and stuff that I use, that's a great video. And then as you start to get deeper into stuff, like this one right here is essentially it. Anything else that you do with Ecamm is going to be based on what you want to build out, what your show is going to look like. But essentially, the videos are here. They're already over here. All the stuff that you would need or want in regards to setting that up. I think something I need to do is just create an Ecamm Live, getting started with the Ecamm Live playlist, and then probably add in some additional videos since some new stuff has come out, and start there. But I think one of the biggest things that I can forewarn you before you even get started is like, here, let me show you behind the scenes. So now you see what I see to create, right? So this is my screen where I am and where your people will see. And I have my comment section pulled up over here, my audio over here. This is music and stuff that I'm playing for my stream mix. Now, when you see all this scene and overlay stuff, this jacks people up because they like, well, which does what and what happens and how do you do blah, blah, blah. I did a video on that on another channel that I will probably bring over to my channel through a playlist, but I explain the difference between scenes and overlays. Scenes are like your folders. Where's the essential template at for the how you want to build out your show? The overlay it's like if you think about it in books. This is this is the outside cover of the book. Essentially, the overlays is where the content goes. What's inside of it, the pages, if you will. So the overlays will have stuff like, if I go over here to the one with me and the screen share, the stuff that's included that you see are my camera. That's one thing. So that's me here. You'll see this blue and white overlay for the branding. That's over in here. And then you'll see the screen share, a portion of the screen. That's over there. It's just 3 real things in here. Anything else is extra from other stuff, but I honestly could delete or get rid of. So that's it. It's just 3 things based on what I wanted. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I do like to see that person over on the side, and then it's dominant frame of that person, not person, but the screen share. And then I have other ones that I personally use and like, which is like if it's me and a slide where it's more me on the screen and it's more dominant of me, same concept, different dimensions. I'm larger, more dominant to the screen, and the PowerPoint or the slide or the whatever it is that I'm talking about, that is more smaller. It's not as frame dominant. I have another one that I do where if I'm doing a training, so if I'm doing like a presentation or something thereabout, I'm small. Super small. I'm a speck, a picture in picture, if you will. I'm a speck on the screen. Different dimensions where the slide or the PowerPoint or the screen share is the dominant factor. So that's the only thing. Now you'll see all this stuff and be like, oh man, I gotta learn all these things. And it's like, no, you actually don't. It's very simple. Ecamm is extremely simple. People get confused because they'll see how people have built their brands using Ecamm, like their branding elements and stuff of their show. And it's like, that's too confusing. Nobody said you needed to learn that stuff. That's a preference at that point. The basics, your scene, it's like the exterior of a book, overlays, the pages and the contents of the book. What goes in there is dependent on what you want to be seeing. But ultimately, the getting started stuff, that's that video that I showed over there. I can probably drop a link to that and probably do an updated one since it's been about a year ago on that one. let's do copy link address, drop that in the chat, and that should get you over there. So yeah, Ecamm Live, super simple to use for what you're trying to do. Hopefully that helps. Saying thanks, no problemo. Saying time for an upgrade lapel mic. I have the Rode Video Micro, but it picked up a little too much ambient noise indoors. Any suggestions? Yes. So when you're investing in a microphone, your microphone should be based on the use case. That may mean not a one size fits all kind of microphone, because rarely they do. For these live sessions, my podcasts, interviews, stuff like that, I want a microphone that rejects background noise. I am very present as far as an audio source, so it sounds exceptionally good. That's this microphone. It's a podcast style microphone. That's why I have this one. If I'm out and I'm vlogging, doing videos outdoors, I'm traveling, I use the Movo VXR 10. It looks like the Rode because of the cable is Rode one, and the Lear here, the shock mount, is by Rode also. I just replaced the microphone because I preferred the Movo personally. But yeah, so this is the Movo mic on here, and it's actually the Rode. This is like, I'm sorry Rode, but it is what it is. So so that's the Movo one, because in that environment, it's portable. It does what it needs to do. A lapel microphone in that sense may be where if you're not in a sound treated environment, it surprises people. This is not a sound treated space. There's not a piece of foam or nothing on a wall or ceiling anywhere. The audio sounds good because this microphone is built to reject background noises. So that includes when my voice slaps up against the wall, comes back from the exterior or from the back of it, the microphone won't pick it up. Even if I push it off to the side, you can see how well it rejects background noise versus when it comes close and then it goes away, and then if it comes back to here, the difference that it sounds. So a shotgun microphone, if you're not this close, you don't need to use shotgun microphone. If you have that microphone any further than this, like within an arm's length, you don't need to be using a shotgun microphone. You need to be using a lapel microphone. Or if you're at a desk, podcast something. But if you got 4 or 5 inches away from you, shotgun microphone is not the right microphone. You need a lapel microphone. So that's the thing. Buying a mic is not just buy one get one free, or not. That's not the thing. Buy one size fits all. What am I thinking? Buy one get one free. One size fits all. Microphone sound like it's microphone per situation. A microphone in a scenario or situation that you need. So that's the thing. Doing a podcast, blah, blah, blah. You get with a podcast style microphone. Rode Pod Mic, Samsung Q2U. I used the Shure SM7B. Vlogging, microphone, or you're in a space, but it's right in front of you, maybe arm's length away or something like that. You can use a shotgun microphone. If you're not in a sound treated environment, it will pick up more noises because it's a condenser style microphone. This is what's called a dynamic one. Even though lapel microphones can be condenser style microphones, they're right here. So the dominant audio source is you. It may pick up some stuff, but it more or less is going to just be here because you're the dominant audio source and you're the closest. So that's the thing. If you got a shotgun microphone, it's 3-4 inches away from you. Nope, wrong mic. You need to switch to a lapel at that point. You use the Rode Wireless Go 2s, which is what I like. I like the Rode Smart Laugh personally. You use whatever you want, but that's what I recommend. Alrighty. What's up, Mulan TV? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying thank you so much. Terry, my pleasure. Glad to be of service. Alrighty. So yeah, that's the thing with mics. Let me see here. I want to pull up something real here. Say condenser versus dynamic mic, because sometimes, and even like, now this is getting a little technical, but you'll understand this when you see it, because you'll see the words and stuff for what a microphone is or whatever. And it's like, will it work and will I sound great on it? Essentially is what you want to know. Nobody cares about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you think about pickup patterns that I explain, let me put this in here. I'm trying to figure out if I can find a quick image that'll show that. Here we go. So this will work. So let's take a look. See here. What you see right here, this is a pickup pattern. A shotgun microphone is going to usually have like this Movo VXR, the what is it, Rode Video Micro, whatever the hell it's called. It's going to be this. The reason why you see this big old circle is because if the mic is here, it picks up everything around it, right? That's how it works. It's omnidirectional. Why the dynamic microphones, especially even like when you're picking a podcast style microphone, people pick these ones that are supposed to be in singing studios, and the singing studio is surrounded by audio padding and all that stuff. And people are like, it sounds terrible where I live. I know it's the wrong microphone for the wrong environment, or it may be a good microphone, but it's in the wrong environment. It's not built for those kind of environments. It's going to always sound terrible. That's why I can't use the Rode Mini, whatever the hell I got sitting back there that they came out with. Great microphone, wrong environment. Does not help over here. I got to use a dynamic microphone. Unidirectional, which is what you'll see that cardioid dynamic style microphones or whatever, like this one Shure SM7B that I'm talking to. The microphone source is here. So you got the mic or whatever. This is crude drawing. I'm surprised I passed kindergarten. But the mic is here. Everything else in front of it, a little bit to the side, is not going to get picked up. Stuff behind it is going to get rejected. So any audio that's coming in from behind it, around it, or whatever, the other room, your kid's playing, blah, 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 you won't hear it, or it'll be very minimal. And then you have other ones like bidirectional, which is where those Deity D4 Duo microphones, even Movo has one now. That's where those are. That's why you can hear audio from the front and the back. They're bidirectional. The one that I like, that I think it was Movo came out with, or no, I think it was Deity, their Mini, Deity D4 Mini. That pickup pattern is what you call super cardioid directional pattern here. It's this one. So it picks up a little bit from the back and a lot from the front and kind of rejects to the sides. I think Movo has one though too. But those are good as well for shotgun microphones. But that's why even like you see in studios and stuff, or movie clips or whatever, you don't know what you're looking at because you don't know what you're looking at. But you'll see like the cameraman essentially booming a mic, and it'll come down and they're kind of like holding it, or you'll see them doing like this in a movie because they're getting audio, the audio source, right where that person is speaking. Those microphones are like those super cardioids. It's only going to pick up what's right in front of it, reject the background noise. It'll be in some kind of a blimp kind of a deal where it's, you know, covered in all of this, and you'll just kind of see them hanging it down straight out of the camera shot. So maybe about right here kind of a deal, because that audio person is following them around, or they're wearing a lapel mic that's hidden someplace or something like that. So now that you're doing videos and you're getting involved in this stuff, you don't need to know everything about everything, but you do need to recognize what words to look for and that fits you and that's right for you in your environment. And then that way it becomes easy. Once I saw and somebody explained that to me, I'm like, oh, I don't need a condenser microphone. I need dynamic style microphones with a cardioid pickup pattern. So all I need to do, Control F on the keyboard when I'm looking at something on the Amazon page, and just see if it says cardioid. If it did and I liked it or whatever, it's like, okay, cool. That one meets the requirements. So that's, you know, that's all that's needed there. So, and that Shure mic really is amazing, isn't it? Loving your micro content course, by the way. Why, thank you so much. Glad that you are getting some value out of that Mastering Micro Live course. So yeah, the Shure SM7B was a purchase I was hesitant about, because I'm like, I already love the Samson Q2Q. I thought it sounded great on my voice, but an industry standard microphone isn't an industry standard microphone for no reason. And it's like, yeah, it's like, well, Michael Jackson sang on it. Great for Michael Jackson. He could sing. I'm just trying to sound good for my streams, my courses, and podcasts and such, and interviews and things, you know? But I'm thinking forward again. Okay, when I get ready to record my book, because I'm going to read my own audiobook, I'm going to do it on this microphone. So unless I go to a studio or something, but it's like, I'm going to do it on this microphone. What is going to sound the ultimate best, like the absolute best? And I'm like, okay, if I get that with the Rodecaster Pro, I leverage some of the effects and stuff that it has, then I'm like, I should be good. Sure enough, you know, tweak it to, I very minimal tweaks, honestly. And I've done a video on exactly what my settings are and stuff like that for those of you that may be curious, whether you're watching this live on the replay. And got it to a point that I'm like, I really enjoy the way that that sounds. I'm like, that is a worthy investment. So it's like you'll hear side-by-side comparisons and stuff like that, but it's like until you hear a thing on your voice, you can't really, you know, like fully vet how good it is or not. And I also am very concerned always about audio exhaustion. Are you audibly exhausting people? Not like for talking a lot. That's a way to exhaust people, but audibly exhausting, meaning you've got to listen to the whole show like this. Like you got to strain to listen to, you know what I'm saying, hear what I'm saying. And it doesn't have to be that way, you know, with this, a minor investment in something that makes people retain your videos longer, actually enjoy it, because that's one thing they don't have to burn calories thinking about. So there's my thoughts inside. Saying stay inside the lines. Oh, well, yeah. He's talking about the listen, drawing over here. This is not my ministry in life. Okay. This right, like it's a reason why I could not draw inside the line. That was my bane of my existence as a kid. But that's where I'm gonna leave it for this week's live stream. No more questions in the chat that I can see. As far as if you guys have you got like 30 seconds before we wrap this stream up, if there are no more questions. If you have a burning question, ask it real quick. Otherwise, I'm out these streets. Did it right at an hour. Ooh, I did a short live stream. Y'all ain't ready. What happens if the streams go to 45 minutes? Y'all are not ready. But that's where I'm gonna leave for this week's episode of the Friday Live Helpcast. I hope that you got some value out of it and enjoyed it. But that, guys, with passion. I'll see you on the next video here at the YouTube channel.